Hi guys, welcome to Stack Reframe. So in the previous video, we have seen class selector, isn't it? We have seen all about class selector, that how we can use class selector to target and select a particular element, and we can give the CSS property to them. Now let us see here this other CSS selector, that is called ID selector. Okay, how we can use ID selector, let us see in this video. Okay, now let me give some description about this ID selector. Okay, so first of all, let me ask you one question. What is ID for you? What do you mean by ID is simply identity, isn't it? So IDs are unique in nature, that we know normally. Let us say Aadhaar card is unique in nature. Every person has an Aadhaar card and Aadhaar number is different, so that is identity for ours, isn't it, for a person. Now roll numbers, if you are studying in college or school, you see roll numbers are unique in nature, isn't it? Every student have unique roll numbers that cannot be same to two persons, isn't it? That is why it is unique in nature. Similarly here, ID selectors, we considered it as a unique in nature. That means we can use ID selector only once in our web page. ID name, not selectors, ID name. Okay, so first of all, I will write here syntax. Okay, syntax, how to use ID selector. Similarly, as we have seen in class selector, we use it dot followed by class name, isn't it? But here in ID, we use hash followed by followed by the name, isn't it? ID name, isn't it? Hash followed by ID name, and then we use curly braces here, and whatever the CSS property that I'm going to pass here, that will be applied to this ID, isn't it? So if you are facing any confusion till here, let us see an example to make you understand properly. For example, I'm taking one p tag. Okay, and I'm writing here the same context. Let's say anything, welcome to my channel. If I'm writing here, now you see how it is looking. Let us go live and see. See, welcome to my channel is coming normally, isn't it? Now how we can select this using ID selector is, we will write here ID is equal to, I'll write any name here. Let's say I'm giving here stack reframe. Okay, I'm writing here my channel name. Anything you can write here. Okay, so I'm giving here a ID name here to this particular p tag. Okay, now how I can select this using ID selector is, I'll write here internal CSS style, and I'll write here the syntax is the hash followed by ID name. So I'll write here hash and followed by ID name. What is our ID name? Stack reframe. Okay, stack reframe, and then curly braces. Now if I give here any CSS property, color is equal to blue, or border is equal to 2px solid green, anything I can give. Is it now? Go back and see, is it working or not? It is applying, isn't it? So this is the way to use ID selector. Now you will definitely ask this question, sir, what is the use of this ID selector? It is doing the same thing. I can use here class selector also, same thing will work. But ID selector we use whenever we want to make a unique thing. If you want to give up uniqueness to this page, then only we use ID selector. For example, okay, whenever we want to make a particular element or thing unique in nature, that means that cannot be again used, the CSS property cannot be used again and again, then we use ID selector here. Okay, similarly like Aadhaar card or roll number example that I have explained. Okay, if you want to give a unique name or uniqueness into it, you can use ID selector here. Now the important thing is that if you see here, I'm writing again, let's say I'm writing again a h2 tag here. Okay, and if I'm writing here hello, okay, now you see it is looking like this. Okay, now if you just copy this ID name and if you copy and paste it here, you see it is working same, isn't it? Just like class selector. But the basic principle of web development here in CSS, what we follow is, we cannot reuse the ID selector again and again. For reusability, we have class selector. Okay, though it is working, though it will work same. You see, if I'm writing, copying the same ID name, it is working here. It will work, but the principle that we follow, that ID selector cannot be used again and again. For if you want to reuse the CSS property again and again, go for class selector and not for ID selector. ID selectors will always be unique in nature. That means you cannot copy the same CSS property using the same ID name. You can write here, you can take here ID is equal to anything, ABC name. If I give, again you want to do something, you can write here hash followed by ID name, that is ABC, and you can pass here any CSS property. If I pass here color is equal to red, let's say brown, and background color, you see background color is equal to, if I'm passing here anything aquamarine, you see it is working, isn't it? You cannot simply use the same ID name in your web page. That is what a general principle that we follow. Similarly, like in the heading tags, we have h1 to h6 tag, isn't it? What I have said you, and that h1 tag, though we can use many h1 tags in our web page, but it is a basic principle that we follow, that h1 tag can be used only once in your web page. Similarly, this particular ID selector, the ID name that I'm giving here cannot be used again and again to pass the same CSS property. That is what a general principle that we follow. Okay, so this is the basic difference between class selector and ID selector that you must be thinking of. Why not to use class selector here? So when you will make a project, when you will make a big project, when you have many n numbers and thousand lines of code, if you are going to write, you will see the value of ID selector there. If you have to make it some uniqueness, some unique ID name, and you have to pass some unique CSS property, you are going to use ID selector there. Okay, this is what the basic definition and basic principle that we follow in our web development course. Okay, so this is what ID selector is. Okay, so that's it for now in this video. We'll see the other selectors in the other video. Okay, till then, take care guys, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe, and also you can see the playlist that I have created. You can see all my videos, and if you have any questions or queries related to any topic, be it ID selector or any topic that I have discussed so far, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. And also guys, I'll share the notes very soon for all the topics that I have covered. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you to subscribe my channel, so that I'll also be get motivated, and it will be beneficial for me to grow this channel. Okay, so that's it for now guys. Thank you, have a nice day, bye bye.